How many Canadians actually have $1 million saved for retirement? I'll answer that in 30 seconds. Then I'll tell you why that answer by itself is almost completely useless. Because the real issue is not whether you have $1 million. It's whether you're counting your assets correctly and whether you have a plan or just the hope that the math works out. Most Canadians are getting this wrong in one of two directions. They either assume they need far more than what they do and retire later than necessary out of anxiety, or they assume things are fine because the house is worth something and the RRSP account has a number to it, without ever stress testing the income plan. Both directions are fixable. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Stefano Francesca, Certified Financial Planner Professional and Senior Wealth Advisor at Next Step Wealth Management with IPC Securities Corporation. If you find this helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. It genuinely helps more Canadians find this content. And if something we cover today connects with you in some situation, if you're within 5 to 10 years of retirement and want someone to look at your full picture, there's a link in the description to book a consultation. So let's answer the question. When looking at Stat Canada's survey of financial security and accounting for how those assets are actually structured, some analysts estimate fewer than 10% of Canadians aged 55 to 64 have $1 million or more in liquid retirement savings. Not net worth, liquid savings. Most Canadians are nowhere near 7 figures in registered savings. And the gap between what people think they need and what they've actually accumulated is massive. In 2025, Healthcare of Ontario Pension Plan Survey found that 39% of Canadians have never saved for retirement at all. That same survey found 59% of unretired Canadians don't think they'll ever be able to retire based on their financial situation. Meanwhile, a 2025 BMO Retirement Survey found Canadians believe they need $1.7 million to retire comfortably. So you have a country where many people think they need about $1.7 million. Most haven't come close to accumulating it. About 1 in 3 haven't saved at all, and a big chunk doubtful they'll ever retire comfortably. That's the starting point. But every one of those data points is missing context, and that context changes everything. Here's what trips up a lot of Canadians. They look at total net worth, compare it to a retirement target they heard somewhere, and draw a conclusion. But net worth and retirement savings are not the same thing. StatsCan broke this down clearly for Canadians aged 55 to 64. Families who own their home and have an employer pension plan had a median net worth of $1.4 million. That sounds solid, until you realize that number includes the home they live in, the present value of their pensions, vehicles, and everything. The liquid portion is dramatically smaller. So you can have 2 Canadian families, both in their early 60s, both telling you they're worth more than $1 million. One is counting on equity they plan to live in for the next 25 years or more. The other has assets they can actually convert to income. Now, your home matters, but unless you have a plan to access that trapped equity through downsizing or a reverse mortgage, it's not part of your income plan. It's part of your estate or something in your back pocket that you may be able to access in the future. Knowing the difference changes the whole conversation. As well, here's what most Canadians genuinely underestimate, and it's causing unnecessary panic and rush decisions. Canada has a government retirement income system that is far more significant than most people factor in. CPP first. The maximum monthly CPP benefit at age 65 in 2026 is $1,507.65. But only a small fraction, roughly 6% of recipients actually receive that maximum. Most receive something meaningful, but substantially less, because hitting the top requires decades of contributions at the highest earning level. Then OAS. Old age security begins at 65 and pays a maximum of $742.31 per month for Canadians aged 65 to 74. Unlike CPP, it's not tied to your work history. Many long-term Canadian residents qualify for a full or near full benefit. For a couple, 2 people each receiving CPP and OAS, even well below the maximums, represents a meaningful indexed government-guaranteed income floor that arrives every month for the rest of their lives, regardless of what markets are doing. Most Canadians don't model this properly. They compare their registered savings to 1.7 million and conclude they're short. But they're not adding CPP. They're not adding OAS. The portfolio doesn't need to generate all of your retirement income. Just the difference between your income goal and what government benefits already cover. For many Canadians, that's a far more manageable number than they realize. One important caveat, OAS is income tested. For OAS payments from July 26 to June 2027, recovery tax starts around $93,454 of net income based on your 2025 income. And that threshold changes each year with inflation. That's exactly why income planning needs to happen before all those sources come online at once. The number, $1 million, $1.7 million, $3.5 million, whatever you've heard, it's not the plan. At best, it's a starting point. At worst, it's a distraction. Retirement security in Canada is an income and sustainability problem, not an asset problem. The question isn't, do I have $1 million? It's, can I generate the income I need from all sources tax efficiently without running out for as long as I live? That depends on when you retire, your income replacement target, how your spouse's income interacts with yours, whether you own your home, whether you carry debt, and your health and longevity. No single number captures that. What answers it is a personalized income plan, not an account balance target. Being behind on a savings number doesn't mean you're out of options. There are levers still available, especially in your late 50s and early 60s. The TFSA is chronically underused. For Canadians eligible since 2009 who have never contributed, there is $109,000 of accumulated room in 2026. That money grows tax-free, comes out tax-free, and doesn't affect OAS or other income-tested benefits. CPP timing is a decision, not a default. Delaying past 65 increases your payment by 0.7% per month, a maximum of 42% increase at age 70. Plus inflation increases on the yearly maximum pensionable earnings also increase CPP benefits. Once you start to collect, it's permanent and indexed for life. Whether that makes sense depends on your health, your longevity, and other income. But it needs to be modeled deliberately before you make an irreversible call. OAS deferral works in the same way. Every month past 65 adds 0.6%, up to 36% more at age 70. Particularly valuable for Canadians already drawing RRSP or RIF income in their early 60s. Delaying OAS reduces the years where everything stacks at once. Again, interesting to model and determine if it fits your situation. Pension income splitting at 65 allows couples to allocate up to 50% of eligible RIF income to the lower earning spouse, reducing the household's combined tax bill. No money moves, it's an election at tax time, but it requires the right account structure first. These tools don't require $1 million to matter. They require a plan. Regardless of the amount of savings some survey or YouTube video says you need to have for a comfortable retirement, what really matters is your personal situation. What matters is counting your assets accurately. What matters is properly accounting for CPP and OAS as core income, not a bonus. What matters is asking the income question, not just the account balance question. The Canadians who retire with the most clarity built an income plan before they needed one, not a balanced target. You know the difference. The question is what you do with it. If you're within 5 to 10 years of retirement and want to sit down, look at your full picture, and build a plan that accounts for all of this, click the link in the description to book a consultation. We work with Canadians navigating exactly these questions every day. We help them manage all aspects of their financial life, including investments, tax, and income planning. Let's take the next step.